Today we are heading up Big John Salvage. This super mutant fort hides a really sad story, as well as about a dozen super mutants. So we're in for a fight. There's also a skill book and plenty of legendary enemies that you can farm. Now, once you're inside the main building, you'll have to deal with the first wave of super mutants. Once you've done that, we can have a read of John's terminal. His safe here is a master lock, but don't worry, we'll pick up the key later on. Let's have a read into his journal. I've sealed up all the cracks I could find in the trailer and made sure all the pipes are clamped tight. I still need to make sure ventilation is set up correctly, but I'll save that for next week. Shelley thinks we should start telling the kids about the shelter so they know where to go in case something happens. I'm not sure they need to know quite yet though. Okay, the ventilation is set up, but I'm having issues with the generator. It keeps shutting off, for no obvious reason. Whenever the generator shuts off, the ventilation fans no longer work, which apparently vacuum seals the trapdoor on the shelter shut. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. I think I figured out the generator ventilation issues. All the supplies are stocked and ready. The only thing we need to do is wait and hope we don't need to use it. I was telling Shane and Kimmy about the shelter, but how do you explain a bomb shelter to a 5 and 7-year-old? I just need to know, just tell them so that they know where it's at. So I tried to get them to repeat a rhyme, hoping that it would help it sink in. In the tipped over train behind Dad's shop, climb up and above and drop in the top. They seem to like the rhyme. Okay, well that points us to where he has decided to put his little bunker, which is that blue train right there. Now, remember when he said specifically that if the generator shuts off, it seals the bunker and they can't get out. Now, John said he fixed it. Unfortunately for John, that wasn't the case. And if we go all the way over here to the generator, we can find the generator's actually off. Flipping it on, however, will gain access into the bunker. However, that kind of seals John's fate, and we know what happened to him. Now, as for the super mutants, there's one particularly entertaining one. This guy right here will occasionally go over and take some pot shots at the raiders and skeletons and mannequins that they've picked up here. Kind of like a, there we go, a shooting range. Not often you see super mutants doing this. And I suppose he is a warlord, so it would make sense he's slightly smarter than the rest. Now, if we make our way up before we get to the bunker, you can say hello to the main boss of this place, another warlord. It seems the raiders had control of this junkyard for quite some time before, of course, these guys all moved in and decided to tell them to move on. Politely, of course. There is a Tales of a Jerky Junktown vendor, which of course will bring your prices down by a couple of %. How to run a successful vendor stand. Nice. And the steamer trunk here, standard in most places you visit. Now, let's go and jump into the bunker. Sometimes difficult to spot once you jump in. You won't be able to open the shelter unless you go to the generator. Thankfully, we did it first. Now, let's go inside and see the fate of John. Once inside, you can see he actually converted a large trailer into a bunker. Unfortunately for John here, no one heard his cries for help on the radio. And with supplies dwindling, we can also find his key. The kids, let's just say, didn't last very long, and neither did the parents. Although it seems that these two passed away on the mattress, it's pretty evident what happened here to the two kids. The shovel, teddy bear, and even the baseball glove shows the fate of Shane and Kimmy. Perhaps radiation, perhaps starvation. It's hard to tell, but it seems the parents went off more so in their sleep here, as the generator meant that it was vacuum sealed. They couldn't get out, which was very unfortunate for them. Anyways, that pretty much covers Big John Salvage. Often you'll find Brotherhood of Steel knights engaging, landing here in Vertibirds. It's quite the sight. And if you're in the area, be sure to call over to the South Boston Military Checkpoint. Reason for that is, it normally has a full set of X01. I've visited it numerous times. So, if you're a high enough level, go check it out. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.